Hello, Internet! It is a new week, the sun is back, or the light, at least it's not really that sunny, but you can see me, at least. And we're back, going to try and climb up this online ladder again. I say try because if you watched yesterday's video, I wasn't in a very good mood by the end of it. We lost all 3 games in yesterday's video, and so I did go and have a look back, although that was a few days ago. I don't remember thinking that I did anything too terrible, but mistakes were made. I think just over the course of all of these 23 battles that we have done so far in the last week, I think I generally have been quite unlucky. A few Precipice Blades misses, which is to be expected, but I mean, just watching the videos back over the last week as they've been coming out, a lot of my sleep turns have been like first turn wakes for the opponent kind of thing as well. So I think we have been a little bit disproportionately unlucky as far as that goes. But it's a new week again, feeling a bit fresher now. I've made a change. This is now a Terra Fairy Lunala with Moonblast instead of Meteor Beam, and with a Mental Herb on it. I did have Terra Dark on it to be immune to pranks to taunts for like Tornado Sleets, things like that. So Mental Herb does kind of cover that. I thought Meteor Beam would be a nice way to sort of set up in Gravity, you know, while they're asleep kind of thing. But there were a lot of times when, as I was saying with Iron Valiant, I was thinking, ooh, if you had Moonblast here, then things would have been better. I think Moonblast maybe is a better coverage move for Lunala to have here. And also in situations where there was a game where we had a Flutter Mane and I didn't Terra because I thought they were just going to Moonblast. You know, with Terra Fairy, we are kind of protected against Fairy and Ghost there. Whereas if we Terra Dark, you know, Fairy is still super effective. So, you know, not so good there. And also, we did have a few games where Zamazenta became an issue for us after we'd Terra Darks on our Lunala as well. So eventually we find an opponent against someone else in rank 8. So we did actually drop. I could do with my glasses here, couldn't we? I did actually drop. Ooh, okay. After those 3 losses in the last video, there was one other change that I've not made but have been considering, which I'll tell you about in a moment if I remember. Now, Weezing is actually something that I haven't really played against too much because, this could be a little bit of a problem for us because obviously it stops us from having a Prankster with Saberlight, stops us from having the speed boost with Sandy Shocks and Sun. I think what I do tend to do here is still go with Groudon and Sandy Shocks, and we can take one Astral Barrage. So that is my hope. That is the plan so far. And I will go with Iron Valiant again. I don't think there's any need for Clefairy here. The opponent could lead completely. I mean, I'm expecting a Weezing Calyrex lead here. They might lead something completely different. You never know. But I do want to start winning. I do want to start feeling a bit better about this again because I like this team. And after yesterday's video, I was having thoughts. But again, they have led as I've expected. But again, yesterday was the end of a day of recording like all 8 of those videos so far. So I did do maybe too many games. I am going to Terra Groudon here just in case we have Will-O-Wisp on the Weezing. And do I go for... Yeah, I'm going to go for an Electro Web here just because if I set up Gravity, yes, I'll hit the Precipice Blades, but then next turn they'll still be faster. So I am definitely going to Electro up here, and then next turn I'll Gravity. So I'm hoping for at least a couple of hits here out of Gravity. I mean, if this is Terra Ghost, it's not. Okay. I'm not... Yeah, I mean, I wasn't... A Terra Ghost Life Orb Astral Barrage probably would knock out the Sandy Shocks in one hit. They are also weak to Electro Web now as well. I mean, this isn't going to be another Solar Beam Calyrex, is it? If it is, I mean, hopefully they target the Groudon. Okay, that's fair enough. I don't mind that. Terra... Oh, dear. I mean, we are in Sun. Okay. We are... Now, hopefully we'll hit this Electro Web. Yep. Hopefully they're not Clear Amulet, which they're not, and hopefully hit this Precipice Blades. Which we do. Okay, don't think this will knock it out, but it might. Oh, it does, okay. Alright, well that is one threat gone. Although, because the Weezing is still on the field, Zamazenta is going to be a threat now. Although Zamazenta can only target one, if it is Zamazenta, not Zamazenta, Zacian. Can only target one. If I did want to get cheeky here and protect Groudon, will Sandy Shock survive a Play Rough? Which will be the most powerful thing it can do. It hasn't got its attack boost at the moment as well, because Weezing's still on the field, so I expect Weezing will switch here. I'm not going to try and be cute at all, just in case they do predict the protect. But I am going to have to go for another Electro Web here. So no Gravity again. Okay, so it looks like I could have protected the Groudon, so that's slightly disappointing. But again, it was safe. If I'd protected and they Play Roughed, you know, swapped out the Weezing, got the +1 attack boost. Again, I'm not sure that would have knocked out the Sandy Shocks, but maybe I am playing a little bit too safe. And that's fine. So at least we have got the speed drop on both of those now. So I can bring in the Lunala. I can start putting things to sleep. If the Weezing decides to taunt my Lunala as the Zacian protects, then I've got the Mental Herb. And, you know, that's good. So they're both -1 speed, yep. Both my Pokemon are faster. Okay, that's good. That's good. I was thinking maybe they were feeling threatened by the Earth Power. Turn worked out perfectly for us. That's great. So Weezing isn't really doing much here. Like, it can Sludge Bomb and Poison us, it can burn us. Taunt isn't going to bother Lunala for one turn. We know it's got Protect. I'm assuming those are the 4 moves. So I think we can just leave that Weezing alone, really. Let's see, what else could they have? We've got Iron Valiant in the back, so if it's Regigigas, then, I mean, that could be a problem, but I wouldn't have thought it would be. One of the Urshifu or the Ogerpon are still somewhat of a threat as well. But, like, I can just double into the Zacian here and knock it out. But I think I am actually going to put the Weezing to sleep. I don't think this... I mean, Earth Power might actually knock out the Zacian anyway. That's fine. I mean, Weezing is not doing anything. Something is taking the Earth Power. Oh, it is Regigigas. Okay. Ooh. So they tried to double protect there. Okay. So I am imagining the Regigigas has got knockoff. I can just keep Earth Powering the Weezing slot. If I think an Earth Power knocks out, I don't think it does, but if I thought it did, then I could knock out the Weezing. The ability starts, the slow start starts, and I could just Hypnosis the Regigigas. The question really is, do I think a knockoff is going to knock Lunala out? And I think it might, so I could swap the Iron Valiant in. Because they're not going to go for a normal move into Lunala, are they? Surely. And Earth Power the Weezing, because even without the photosynthesis boost, Sandy Shocks is faster than Regigigas, I'm sure. Regigigas' base speed is 100, isn't it? So you couldn't wake up there. That was your guaranteed turn. Okay, I'm wrong. So I should have gone for, if this doesn't knock the Weezing out, which it did. I should have gone for the Electro Web. Okay. I'm confused. How was that Regigigas faster? Oh, we haven't... Oh, okay, this is actually tricky, because we haven't got the booster energy activated on the Iron Valiant now. The Zacian can wake up. It's got... Oh, okay. Yes. But it used knockoff. Hang on, what? Can you not knock off booster energy? I'm a little bit confused. I'm very confused. One, that I'm sure... Maybe I'm wrong. I thought Regigigas' base speed was 100. And Sandy Shocks is faster than 100. Isn't it? We haven't got any drops. Okay, right. Think about it. What are we doing? We are still in gravity for one more turn. Regigigas can protect now. I think Unearth Power will knock the Zacian out. I think we are safe to do this. If I'd gone for a close combat... Well, actually, if I'd gone for an Icy Wind, but then there's a threat of Wide Guard. If I'd gone for an Icy Wind, then... okay, they don't wake up anyway. Then Sandy Shocks would have been faster than the Zacian, and we could have got the knockout. But then, with a Crush Claw or whatever it is, we maybe would have been losing Iron Valiant. Or Sandy Shocks. I don't know. It's worked out for us. But... How was the booster energy still activated after we swapped in on a knockoff? We did swap in on a knockoff, didn't we? Maybe we didn't. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I'll watch this back afterwards and just sort of double check everything, but I'm maybe looking a little bit stupid here. But it worked out. Everything worked out fine. That's the most important thing. Yeah. How was Regigigas faster than Sandy Shocks? I'll double check. I'll double check stats and everything after the game. So yeah. So in the last week, there's been a couple of big deaths in the world of known people, famous people. Unfortunately, Ozzy Osbourne. In case you didn't know, I am. Heavy metal is a huge part of my life. I was always more of a Judas Priest person than I was a Black Sabbath person, to be completely honest. But one of the very first sounds of music that I remember hearing is my mum playing Black Sabbath on the vinyl. The Paranoid album, the Master of Reality, the Volume 4 album. Specifically, those three. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath as well. Maybe, younger people only really know Ozzy Osbourne now for being, the slightly confused guy who was on the Osbournes, the reality TV program. But Black Sabbath were really the band that sort of kick-started, heavy metal. There was Led Zeppelin, even Deep Purple slightly before Black Sabbath. But Black Sabbath were heavy, and the sound emerged from there with bands like Judas Priest and whatnot. But let's actually think about what we're doing here. So I think I have to lead with these two when there's a Miraidon, which is unfortunate. I don't like being sort of pinned into leads when there is a specific Pokemon, but yeah, we'll go with these. Yeah, I mean, some of the earlier Deep Purple albums as well did sort of verge on heavy metal. But it is a sad loss, Ozzy Osbourne. But, no one lives forever, unfortunately. Hulk Hogan as well, very, a controversial figure now. But, everything aside, a huge figure in professional wrestling. I think I'm safe just to double protect here. You know, he was the guy in professional wrestling, you know, through the 80s and through the 90s. Even relevant in the early 2000s as well. I mean, unless it's Calm Mind Miraidon, I am safe just to double protect here, aren't I? If they hard swap into something, that's fine. I just don't want to go for, like, an Electroweb Precipice Blades and it's a fake out into Groudon, you know? Just something as silly as that. And then a Draco Meteor or whatever. So, as boring and safe as this is, I am just going to double protect here. Okay, well, we're bringing out a Terra. Maybe they're just going to go for a Dazzling Gleam then. Okay, well, there's a fake out into the Groudon, so was right, and it is a Draco Meteor into the Groudon. Okay, so hindsight, obviously, we could have not protected the Sandy Shocks, but we did. I mean, that is probably choice specs then. Well, I mean, I'm saying it's probably choice specs. You know, it could well be choice specs. I'm just going to go for an Electro Web and the Precipice Blades. I know it's not super effective anymore, but it will do. You know, the combination of these two attacks, since Electro Web isn't resisted anymore, probably will do about half of its health. Maybe put it in Moongeist range. Okay, Farigiraf comes in. Probably Electric Seed. Yeah. I mean, how, like... you know, you can, I suppose, open Team Sheet. Maybe this is a reason why open Team Sheet has sort of bred, you know, people to just not try and think outside the box. Okay, we hit the Precipice Blades, that's good. And yeah, that's definitely in Moongeist range now. Let's see, that does not Groudon, so that is definitely choice specs. We did have a few games last week as well where Farigiraf was a bit of a problem for us because we didn't really have anything but Moongeist Beam, well, but the rock one, what was it called? Meteor Beam to hit it with, but Moon Blast does help us there somewhat. We could double into the Farigiraf because that would just prevent Trick Room going up. But still a -2 specs. Electric Terrain boosted Draco Meteor will hurt the Sandy Shocks. But I kind of like the idea of them not getting Trick Room up. So let's do this. Okay, they are swapping anyway. If I did decide to attack, okay. Yeah, Meteor Beam would have been nice for Incineroar. Like, that is one of the bonuses from having it. But at least we are going to be knocking the Farigiraf out here. Yeah, so we've denied Trick Room, which is good. The Sun is still up for a few more turns, so if Miraidon comes back in, they might feel safe to fake out the Sandy Shocks here. But I'm holding the Covert, I can knock it out with Earth Power. That is what's happening. So this is actually a turn where Meteor Beam would have been quite nice. I think terroring the Lunala makes sense, doesn't it? It doesn't make any difference. Like, I'm not going to be... It's probably Calyrex in the back. There's nothing else that I'm really going to be wanting to Terra for. This does mean Moonblast is going to be doing more damage as well. Obviously, I'm doing this because not for the damage, but I'm expecting a fake out, to be completely honest. But this is covering for a knockoff as well. They were probably going to go for a... they didn't go for a fake out. I was going to say they're probably just going to go for a Volt Switch into Calyrex. If it is Calyrex in the back, they have used the Terra, so at least Moongeist Beam is super effective. Okay, well they did go for a knockoff, and that's fine. Mental Herb wasn't going to do anything for us in this game. And that is Calyrex, I'm pretty sure. It is Calyrex. Okay. We've got Clefairy. Does two Moongeist Beams knock it out? If they don't go for a Trick Room, I mean, the straightforward basic thing here, Moongeist Beam into that, Earth Power into that, right? I don't think an Earth Power knocks the Incineroar out there, which is why I'm thinking maybe I double into it just to guarantee the knockout into the Incineroar. But I might live to regret this. I am just going to make the basic move. Earth Power might knock it out still, but it doesn't. Oh. Okay. That might have bailed us out. Depending on what they were going to do. If they... Well, what's the Incineroar going to do? That might give us a clue. Maybe they were just double attacking then. Yeah, if they'd gone for... If they'd just gone for a... for a Glacial Lance, they would have won the game. Mistakes were made, I think. I mean, okay, I mean, I was saying at the beginning of this video that I feel like over the last week we did get a disproportionate amount of bad luck. You know, that's sort of helped to that's helped to restore the balance, hasn't it? But I mean, why did I choose to do what I did? And actually, I'm just since we're 22 minutes in, my friend Nathan asked me a really interesting question. Because I think there's some discourse on Twitter at the moment about looking back over your games, like watching replays of your games, and he was basically asking, you know, isn't that just an exercise in futility, basically? Because, you know, you're looking back at your games and you're like, well, surely I would have done that, you know, oh, they did this, so I would have done that, which, you know, but, and I basically replied to him saying that I think it's more because I did, and he asked me if I used to look back at my games as well, and I did look back at my games. I always look back at my losses when I was laddering on Showdown, not necessarily for the reads. So what I replied to him was basically that when you're looking back at the games, it isn't for the reads, but it's for like the telltale signs that you should have picked up on that would have indicated that they might have done this or that sort of thing. Why did I start talking about this? I was going to link that to something else, but I've just lost my train of thought. But yeah, so in that game, why... I guess this has been reflecting on this last game. Why did I just go for an Earth Power and a Moongeist Beam? Because, I mean, I said that was the basic move, and I was thinking twice about it. I could have just knocked out the Incineroar. I mean, the combination of Earth Power and Moongeist Beam might have just knocked out the Calyrex as well, to be honest. But I would never bank on that. But I did have a guarantee. Well, I say guaranteed. They could have had Protect on the Incineroar, but it's unlikely. So let's just say I could have had a guaranteed knockout on the Incineroar there. I guess in hindsight, that's what I should have done. But why didn't I do that? And this is why I was getting onto the conversation of reflecting on games. Yeah. So why didn't I do that? So this is an example of me looking back on that game. You know, let's say I lost that. You know, why did I choose to do that? I think it was because I was thinking if I got a Moongeist Beam into the Calyrex and they Trick Roomed, whatever happened, I would have Clefairy coming in and then I could after you. I suppose my thinking was a bit all over there, really, wasn't it? Because if anything was going to get knocked out there, it was going to be the Lunala, so I didn't have two Moongeist Beams. So in order to guarantee that I still had Pokemon the next turn, I needed to prevent them from double attacking into the Lunala. The Sandy Shocks wasn't really threatening a great deal. Earth Power doesn't do that much into Calyrex. So in order to prevent a double, because one Glacial Lance isn't going to knock Lunala out, and one Flare Blitz isn't going to knock Lunala out, I needed to knock out one of those Pokemon to allow a second turn of attacks. Or if they get a Trick Room up, to allow for some maneuvering and an after you Moongeist Beam kind of thing. So, yeah, I think in hindsight, I should have gone for a Moonblast and an Earth Power into the Incineroar there. If they went for a Trick Room, that's fine, because the next turn, I Moongeist Beam, I survive their Glacial Lance. Sandy Shocks doesn't, but I Moongeist Beam next turn. After that, I, after you Moongeist Beam, knock out the Calyrex from there. Or, if... Barry's brain is just broken. I can't remember what I just said. If they attack, then yeah, I get knocked out, Moongeist Beam, blah, blah, blah. If they just Trick Room there, then I've still got both in Pokemon. Oh yeah, we've been through that scenario, yeah. So if they just attack, then we can survive 2 Moongeist Beams, 2 Glacial Lances, 2 Moongeist Beams, knocks it out, and there we go. So there's my reflection on that game. And the Switch has got so bored that it's decided to put itself half to sleep. So there we go. Okay, I mean, first 2 games, I'm happy that we've won them. The second game, I'm a little bit unhappy that I didn't make the right call at the end there, but a little bit of luck actually bailed us out there, assuming they were just going to attack. So anyway, there we go. Thank you very much for watching this. There will be another week of videos coming up, so please keep watching. It's done it again. Anyway, thank you very much. I'll see you later. See you tomorrow.